We had this vacation planned for quite a while, several months. Not my wildest dreams would I think that while I was out of town, would a Category 5 hurricane be barreling through town while I'm not there. October 5th, a Friday, I'm packing up to go out of town. And because the weather report said we were going to have a tropical storm and lots of rain, we thought, well, before we leave, let's put the hurricane panels down. That was a good idea. You know, we left at 4 a.m. on Saturday. Everything was fine. Do our 10, 11 plus hour drive, roll in to the house that we rented, and began to unpack, crack open a beer, get the mental wheels into vacation mode, turn on the TV, and lo and behold, all of a sudden, we've got a hurricane coming. And it's not just a hurricane. It's the mother of all hurricanes coming to my back door. So needless to say, we're trying to have a good time, but some mixed emotions about what's happening at home, thinking about my friends, thinking about my family. I've been on the phone. On one hand, I feel like I'm a lot less stressed than I would be if I was at my own house, but there's still stress. I've got my daughter in Florida. I've got my mother in Florida. And thank God, both of them, you know, are outside the cone of the ground zero area of this storm. But, you know, with storms, there's no guarantee anything can happen. There's lots to do when you have a hurricane. And fortunately for us, we're in preparedness mode most of the time. We just didn't get to take care of the things that we would normally do. But all the stuff in our yard, all the pots, there's some lawn furniture out there. So needless to say, when I get home, I may have a huge mess to clean up. All of this on the back side of Hurricane Helene, which has been a complete disaster for the west coast of Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, parts of Georgia. The government response, not good, and definitely not going to get any better. I don't know what to say much more about that. I think you know what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's very sad when our own government turns its back on its people and helps out illegals and foreign countries before it helps its own people. What they fail to understand is the money that they're using comes from their own people. And we're getting tired of it. And this next storm coming through may be the needle that breaks the camel's back. You know, being in the real estate business, these type of events can change things. They will certainly change what insurance companies charge. If the rates weren't high enough, I can see them being just obscenely high. And I'm not sure where that's going. There may be insurance companies that go out of business, that become insolvent because of the mass amount of claims. And at least for the West Coast, I can see it affecting the real estate market on the west coast of Florida, which seems to be historically more vulnerable to the impact of these storms. We get them on the East Coast, but the West Coast, they have a higher propensity to get them. They seem to be stronger. The water's very warm in the Gulf, which is perfect for the development of a hurricane. So next couple years is going to be very interesting, and it's going to take years to recover from what is about to happen. You know, I've had numerous people reach out to me, asking me if I need to stay with them, and I appreciate all of those offers. Anyone who's contacted me, thank you very much. You know, just happens I had a vacation planned during this time, so it wasn't necessary. And like I said before, it's a double-edged sword, you know. I'm happy not to have to sit through the hurricane itself, but you still worry about everything that's going on there. Worry about my friends, worry about my family. Like I said, I've been calling daily, you know, talking to, you know, my mom, my daughter, making sure everybody has it together. Everybody seems to be prepared, shutters down, water, food, all of those type of things. But storms are very unpredictable, and all you can do is say a prayer, hope for the best, and prepare as best you can. One of our biggest challenges, I think, will be just getting home. There is a shortage of gas. So before we head out, we'll probably go out and buy some gas cans, if we can find them, load them up, and continually fill the vehicle up on our way back. Because it would be bad if we get halfway through the state of Florida and we can't get gas to get the rest of the way home. That is what I fear, and I hope that doesn't happen. I'm also worried about what the roads are going to look like on the drive south, because there are probably 1 million people leaving the state of Florida that are all going to need to come back. So I can only anticipate that the ride home is not going to be as cheerful as I would like it to be. You know, hurricanes are a fact of life, particularly if you live anywhere on the east coast of Florida. After this, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that say they would never live in Florida. You know, you have to take good with the bad. You don't want to freeze and shovel snow. There is a trade-off. You know, you do have heat, you do have humidity, and you do have hurricanes. You know, before I came up here, and I'm up in the North Georgia mountains, I had family that was like, "You're crazy. Why are you going up there? They just had the storm with Helene. It's flooded. It's devastated." I'm in a pocket that did very well, that did not get hit because it's further west and southwest of where the storm's path actually was. So, yeah, we're very thankful that the area that we're in is, you know, pretty much unscathed. You know, we're dealing with cooler temperatures. But like I said, even in the most beautiful environment, in the back of my head, I know that storm is coming tonight. And yeah, we're all going to be, you know, nervous. If you're in the path of the storm, I'm going to say a prayer for everybody in the state of Florida that is dealing with this. Get out if you're in a flood zone. You saw what happened in North Carolina. Absolutely do not stay home. If you are along the coast, the West Coast, it's just not worth taking the chance. That's pretty much all I can say about that. You know, govern yourself accordingly. I'll say a prayer for everyone, and hope to check in with you next week. Everybody, stay safe.